Indie Music Live. This is episode 71. It's our brand new format. We have packed both shows that we've been doing every week into one amazing, fun-filled, family-friendly screw fest. Wait a minute. No. How you doing, Dave? Good to see you, man.
That was several non sequiturs in there, I think. Something like that, yeah. Wrong phrase. Sorry. Feeling good tonight, man. Tons of news. Possibly our biggest show ever, Joe. I mean, we got some big stuff to talk about tonight. So
I'm excited about it. We got Fletch Towell from the Fletch Towell band, based out of Chicago, in the house tonight. He's one of our panel guests. Be Easy is nowhere to be found, so we don't know what's happening with him, but hopefully he's okay.
You never know. You never know with Beezy.
Never know with Beezy,
I mean, he's big time now. If he's just like, hey, I might grace you guys with my presence.
Yeah, I got a clothing deal and shit. So
he's big time. But Fletch Towell, man, we met Fletch like 19 years ago, and we put the invite out to him every week since. And this is the first we finally. This is it. He's finally in as a critic. So I'm excited about that.
And we have a big announcement coming up in just a little bit. I sort of spilled the beans on Facebook, as you can see, and people are really excited about it, as we are really excited about it. If anybody is into the blockchain or Bitcoin, we have a special announcement coming up in the near future in the show. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get to the first tune. We got an action-packed, music-filled night tonight. So, Rob, whenever you're ready, let's start with Beanstock with their brand new song called The God Hour. Hopefully they're in the room.
Oh, they're in there.
I said this ain't no form of injustice. I'm just in my bucket thinking about a profit. He in front and talking about he got it. To me, that line shit is kinda childish. They like,
you too fly, Jay, you should've been a stylist.
Instead, I'm in the streets knocking heads off, wildin'. My phone going off like sirens. I guess that's why this money stayed piling. Started in the benzo when I lived on the 6th floor. 12 pulled me over, I ain't give them niggas info. Older heads seen it like this youngin' got potential. So everything I said I did is backed by credentials. All the real niggas 6 feet deep. I'm kinda looking forward to the day I DIE. To go to heaven and smoke a blizz with B.I.G. Then go grab a pack of woods and won't need ID. Amen, nigga. Allahu Akbar. Amen, nigga.
Hail Mary. The God think I'm bigger valley in the Polo Skelly. Hopping out a foreign car to the local deli. Confetti, you know what it was, but you still wasn't ready. We make it do what it do, and we don't play by the rules. We make it do what it do, and we don't play by the rules. Started the day with a Dr. J. Soon as I get my mind right, I'ma head your way. Last night was great. We hit up slaves.
I heard Bill Russell started that shit up back in the days.
Didn't they break in his crib? And shit on his bed on some racist shit? We make it do what it do. And we don't play by the rules.
Indie Music Live, episode 71, our brand new format. Not sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts, but maybe if I show this enough throughout the show, they might know.
Joe, we could have got money for that. What are you doing?
So that was Beanstock with the God Hour. We got Fletch here. He's the rapper of the night, apparently. He's the top guy from Chicago. He's going to let us all know about this song. But first, I want to welcome some people. Thanks for hanging out with us on YouTube. We're not on Periscope tonight, but that's all right. You can catch the replay on there. We got Stephen Hebert, Chris Castellan, the what is it, Bugle or Flugel or something? You just won a big award in.
Flugelhorn player,
local Rochester trumpet star. Christine Wade, I now teach all three of her kids piano. Howard Nelson, Bob Dunmeyer, Lincoln Plowman, Joey Townsend, Daniel C. Milley, all kinds of people in the house. Got Beanstock as well, John and Kelly. So yeah, Dave and Fletch.
Yeah, hopefully as I'm talking, hopefully Rob I think we're gonna like, yeah. Oh, there we go. I'm like, Rob, do the 3-way, and it's like 2 seconds later.
That sounds bad. I don't know about that one.
No. Yeah, Rob, can we do the 3-way for Christ's sake? No. So we were talking a little before the show about this song. So, I liked Beanstock's last tune that we played. We couldn't remember the name of it. I couldn't. But I like his vibe, and it kind of goes into the discussion that we were having before the show about just quality of just equipment, you know, and that includes like mixing boards, microphones, because as I'm listening, I noticed just like it just sounds like a cheap microphone, yet he knows what he's doing, and it's kind of like a story with most indie artists. And once they get into a higher end studio or can have access to better equipment, almost overnight they sound 10 times better. And I think listeners forget that point because I know, but they like listeners, that's just the way it is. They judge based on what they hear, and they misinterpret like the level of the artist based on like a really shitty microphone. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, his voice is not that great, but with a Neumann microphone, it's like, oh, he sounded good. Well, and that's just the reality. Yeah,
it's not always about the gear either. It's about the guy running the gear, you know, running the
it's part of it too. Yeah. Fletch, welcome. Yeah.
Hey, thanks guys for having me here. It's been a long time coming. I've been invited several times, backed out along the way. I really appreciate what you guys do for indie musicians, and I'm on the receiving end of what you do for us. And so I'm really happy to be invited.
Does that have something to do with the 3-way or?
Yeah. I was telling Joe and Dave earlier, it's like I'm a passive rap listener at best. I don't engross myself at it, but I listened to this track quite a few times. I agree with what David says is, you know, I'm a producer. I look at microphones. I look at the technical stuff. It's tough to pinpoint. You have to get into the lyrics of this song, and there's a deep message down there. And so he might find an audience that can connect with that. But there's a lot of issues brought up in it.
Yeah, talk about religion. Yeah, I mean, that's yeah.
And so I think, you know, if you find your audience for this kind of song, it's going to do well. It's there's a lot of this material out there right now, so you got to go carve that little space and make it happen.
These guys are working hard. They're sharing out this video in particular, and you know they're always coming out with new songs and submitting new songs. I know Be Easy's a big fan of them and knew about them beforehand. I think they're on the mixtape charts too, aren't they, Dave?
They actually are. They have been for the past couple months.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so keeping in fashion with the brand new show format, it's time for some music news.
Yes.
So Indie Music News is a new segment that we're going to be pushing out into the Indie Music Live show. So this is just sort of a random thing, not really random. I was just sort of looking for some topics to, you know, chat about, talk about, maybe to bring up. Everybody talks about YouTube and you know, how everybody's listening to music on YouTube, and you can get music on YouTube. You can even buy music on YouTube. People, you know, bands and artists can, you know, get their music licensed with YouTube and played under YouTube, but how much are they really making? Well, according to The Guardian, which is in the UK industry, they revealed that artists actually earned more from vinyl sales in 2016 than they did from YouTube payments for viewing music videos, which seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's totally crazy, dude. And it's when you start looking at the numbers in this article, we can. I think after we're done, we can put a link to the article so people can see all these statistics.
Yeah, but real quick though, they're only paying, YouTube's only paying 1/7 of the rates that other streaming services are paying, and you know, it's just that it seems like they're sort of conning people a little bit.
Well, there's a lot of subsets to that discussion, because when you look at, if you do just like a straight song upload, whether it's a video or just text when you're playing, artists actually make more on YouTube than they do on Spotify. You know, for like 1 million plays, they make about, you know, a little less than $2,000 on YouTube, and they make about like $450 at Spotify. But it gets convoluted when you start looking into these statistics, because you look at how much Google keeps, which is YouTube, same brand. And then you look at how much Spotify keeps, and then you look into the story of how common it is. It's just a common fight between these platforms and the major labels. And you look at how much the major labels make, it's like, wow, that's a big chunk. But it's not done, because they're constantly fighting for more. That's why, that's like the story of the like past 30 years. It's not like the major labels 30 years ago said, all right, you know, let's take 10% for the next 1,000 years. They continually ask for more money, and it's a constant fight as it grows. So that it's just part of like what's so disturbing about it. Fletch.
It's a struggle for everybody, especially the indie artists trying to get out there and meander their way through all of the distribution channels. I think there's light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm not sure where it's going to come from, but I think even some of the, you know, the ASCAPs and the BMIs, I think they're starting to realize it. I think the industry, they don't want to get too stale. They don't want to lose their creativity. And so it's a double-edged sword. At one chance, it's the most exciting time in history where an indie artist can have a well-produced piece of material that goes out to the world. On the other side, it's like, well, gee, even if I do get 50,000 views and start to develop a niche, am I going to get any revenues from that? And the answer is right now, minimal.
Well, here's the kicker about all that is the other story that I looked up, which is sort of Rob, we can go to graphic one, is about people that are actually a new thing called stream ripping. You heard of this? Where people are actually, you know, we would think that pirating music or, you know, stealing music would be a thing in the past with the streaming, but actually, let me find my notes here. According to digitalmusicnews.com, they actually say that people are actually pirating music just as much as they used to. Actually, people in a certain age group prefer to steal the music that they're streaming by stream ripping onto their devices.
Yeah,
so
but
49% of 16 to 24-year-olds surveyed prefer to illegally save their music on their devices while listening to streaming. Close to 55% in this group admitted to accessing music in copyright infringing ways in the past 6 months. And then for those aged 25 to 34, the stream ripping number fell slightly to 40%. Over 45% in this age, however, admitted to illegally acquiring music in the past 6 months. So among all the age groups downloading music on piracy networks like the Pirate Bay and Xtorrent actually fell. So that just blows my mind, because not only do we have to worry about, you know, as musicians not making very much per stream or even a fraction of a cent per stream, now we got to worry about people stealing that stream and just take it.
Well, I mean, yeah, Joe, like, I mean, it all started with Napster, you know.
Of course.
You look back at history. I mean, what I don't know, what's it been, 15, 20 years since Napster started? And it was you know, having a major brand like that where it's like, hey, everybody come here and let's just like freely share our files. It only takes one person to upload like a database of 100,000 songs, and then everyone just taps into it and everyone has it overnight. But what I was reading in this article is it's like actually gone a little down over time in terms of like ripping off artists, because there's different aspects of this whole discussion, man, and it kind of leads into Music Coin for me that we'll get to in a bit, which is it's almost like your conscience starts to play in. Like if you really want to be a fan and support the artist, if you like your 100 favorite bands, if you rip off every single song that they put out for free and then still want to support them in some way, like that clashes, that it contradicts, you know, each other right there. But yeah, Fletch, any thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, I think, you know, what Joe brought up about streaming and ripping, that's been around for a long time now. One of my dilemmas, a lot of my other indie friends were saying, never touch Spotify because you're not going to make any money out of it. It was a couple years ago, it was like boycott Spotify. But then at the same token, you're trying to get exposure as an artist, and Spotify is one of the major platforms.
Yep.
And so you can't just sacrifice that. I think we're starting also, for a lot of artists like myself, where my crowd is not millions of people now. My crowd is, if I can get 2,000 solid fans and generate revenue from them, they will buy my merchandise, they will buy my CDs, they will support me if I develop a relationship with them. If I'm touring in these cities, they will come to us, and I'll have an income stream from that. But again, I'm talking as a bottom feeder trying to work my way up.
I know, but Fletch, like that statistic, that's an extension of our first statistic, which you would probably make more money on vinyl sales than Spotify revenue. I think that's obvious.
Right.
For pretty much everyone but the top 1% of the artists in Spotify and in the majors and everything. So you want to kind of bleed into Music Coin, Joe?
Well, we're going to listen to a song first.
Okay.
We've had this lady on you should have your notes in front of you, Dave.
I do. Hey, man, I'm drinking.
You're fired. Get out of here. We're going to play a song. We've heard from this lady before, and she just keeps coming back. She's from the good old Spain. This is Natalia Bellido with this song that I can't pronounce because it's in Spanish. So enjoy. All right, so when we're playing these songs, guys, I would love to chat in the comments. Let us know what you think. Share this out. Invite all your friends. We have an hour-long show now instead of 2 shows, all kind of discombobulated. Now we're doing 1 power-packed show. We're hanging out with Fletch Towell tonight, David Werba, my partner, and we have a huge announcements after we talk about this song a little bit. Everybody knows I love Natalia. She goes by Natty, I think, on Facebook.
Natty Bell.
Good stuff. Jason Core, it's the remix. He's her producer that's been working with her and stuff and been submitting the music, I believe. But I love this girl, man. It's good stuff. Right up my alley.
Solos tu y yo. That's only you and I. I mean, Natalia Bellido. Muy bellísima. La guapa excelente. Man, I love her stuff. I loved the first tune that she sent in. Like, I think it's been, I don't know, maybe a couple months. I like this one better.
I think
This is like
song.
a bigger hit to me, man. Like, great production. And I've mentioned this band probably 10 times in the past year and a half, which is Cocteau Twins. It's just like the ethereal rock. This is like a lot different than the first song she submitted. This is like a blends into a different genre, but I love it, man.
Yeah.
What a great tune, man. I was like, I'm gonna play this a few more times. Fletch, what do you think?
Dave, I like this song as well. I don't know if I'd classify it as rock so much. It almost felt like a downbeat dance club kind of thing going on too.
Bordering on, yeah.
I'm going to divert for 1 second just because this is a interesting anecdote, and my daughter would hate me if I didn't mention this. My daughter is studying overseas right now, and she is in Sevilla, Spain, where this artist comes from.
Nice.
And so she's not awake right now because it's like 3 a.m. there, but she will watch this.
Well, you don't think she's awake right now.
Yeah. No, I agree, Dave. The production was good. It's all in tune. It's moves. It has motion. It was a nice song. It was a nice song.
She always has nice songs. So, without further ado, we're running a little ahead of schedule, but I think it's okay because we have a big announcement to make. David, why don't you do the honors?
Yeah. Okay. So we, as of last night, we are merging. Our company's merging with Musicoin, and we brought up Musicoin, a few times the last, month or so. Couldn't be more excited. It's probably the biggest news we've had since we started this whole project. But yeah, so just a quick summary. Like, yeah, on these images as you're watching, it's like there's two sides to Musicoin. The image you see right now is the mining side, which is the crypto side, because Musicoin is actually a cryptocurrency that's traded on the exchanges. So there's an opportunity for miners to make money as this thing grows.
So wait a minute. What crypto? Yeah. What miner?
Cryptocurrency.
Detail, Dave. Give me a little more.
Hey, man! What the hell? I'm trying to do it. All right, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. That's what most people know. That's a cryptocurrency. I mean, it's real money. This is not like a game or anything. You create a wallet online and you can keep your money in Bitcoin. And if you have $100 US in Bitcoin, you can send it to your bank through PayPal, or you can just like transfer it to your bank directly. So it's just like a new market. It's the future in so many ways. It removes 90% of the fees. I mean, the fees to transfer money like through Bitcoin wallets are so tiny. And you look at like, you take $100 out at the ATM, you get hit with like $3 of a bank charge, and you can send like 10 grand in Bitcoin to somebody anywhere in the world, and it's like 30 cents. So like the miners, that kind of create that tiny charge. But anyway, yeah, Rob, if you have that next graphic. So Musicoin, we've mentioned it before, this is a streaming platform. So I want people to like really understand this because it clicks at different times. It didn't click for me overnight when I first looked at this like a couple months ago. When I told you, Joe, it, maybe, I don't know, 1 to 2 weeks. And then it was like, holy shit. It's like, I get it now. And now we're like doubling down on this, just this whole ecosystem here. So as a platform, you compare it to like Spotify, SoundCloud, and everything. We mentioned some numbers earlier, and if you get 1 million plays on YouTube, you make a little less than $2,000. On Spotify, you make about $450. For 1 million plays on Musicoin, you would make roughly $10,000. And it's not fake. That is real money because it's earned in coin and you can transfer it to your bank. Like that, I think that's what people don't get right away. It's not a game. This is real. It's like one extra step. Just like PayPal, there's like Bitcoin wallets are like the PayPal of crypto. It's just a liaison. You send it to your bank, man.
Well,
Like
now
this
you
is,
can get debit cards for your
and you
wallet.
can get a debit card for your wallet. Exactly. You can go to an ATM and withdraw cash from your Bitcoin wallet.
And then people will ask, like, what about, the whole currency is decentralized from the government and it's not regulated by anything necessarily. So
We're going to continue to talk about, we're going to talk with people like on Facebook groups and kind of like educate them because that's part of this process. But
Well,
yeah,
Dave, I will say, Bitcoin is here to stay. And I mean, you're starting to see it pop up everywhere. I can now pay my Dish satellite phone bill with Bitcoin.
exactly.
And that's pretty cool. I mean, so I think more and more you're going to see it get adopted. And so you want to be on the front end of that wave, not the back end. Probably.
It's exactly right. And it's like some people, in terms of the perception, when I talk to friends and everything, they're like, they have this feeling. It's like, yeah, it sounds kind of shady and everything. But when you like create crypto wallets, it's cryptocurrency. When you create a wallet and send it to your bank, it's just like you got a paycheck at any job. You report it to the IRS. It's not, you're not like dodging anything here. You report your income. It's just income that you earn. But what's different is that nobody's like putting their hand in the pot. There's no like government regulation. There's no like single body that is like trying to control everything. This dude, like that people been talking about this since, I don't know, like the 60s in terms of like freedom and everything. It made probably hundreds of years before that. But when you say Fletch, it's like, yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Early years of Bitcoin, big banks, it's the same propaganda that was put out there, like cigarette companies are like, oh yeah, e-cigs are actually worse for you than a cigarette. Yeah, bullshit.
When I said it's not going anywhere, I meant it's here to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's too many people using it. There's probably a few hundred million people using cryptocurrency right now.
Yeah.
And I think like government, Federal Reserve, all the merchants, all like a dozen different businesses that usually put their pot of like financial transactions have realized they tried to fight it like 5 years ago. That was the propaganda out there. When you look at blogs, they tried to fight this thing. They said Bitcoin it's a scam or it's just not going anywhere. And that's when Bitcoin was worth like $50. So today it's worth about $1,350 per coin.
They
And
had it up like $8 like overnight almost.
yeah,
They had a hiccup, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, with one of the Bitcoin issuers and
Mt. Gox.
But they got over that. That was just a little hiccup, and so it's here to stay without a doubt.
All right, so I don't know how we're doing on the audio. It sounds a little better to me. It sounds like we can hear it. Can we? Are we ready for a song, Rob?
Hey Joe, let's talk about that last graphic though about Amore. I want to say that last point.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Rob, if you're able to like show that graphic about it's a case study, somewhat. So this artist Amore, and she's an artist. I believe she's in Africa, and she's on Music Coin. She set up a profile. People started playing her songs. She started rising up the charts because just like Spotify, there's a charting system over there. And she reached out to like the social community, which is burgeoning right now, and just said, yeah, I'm looking to create a new video for my songs. And all of a sudden people started tipping her in Music Coin because that's the currency. They kept tipping her. She got like, 180,000 Music Coins, which equated to about $1,800 in a few days. And this Music Coin is like, it kind of just started. Like it just went out of beta like a month ago. And this artist in Africa that has basically like no access to, pop culture and like giant populations, uploaded her song. She just made $1,800 to make a video, and she's producing it right now. And that's a case study. Like that's what's happening with this thing is like there's like a charitable aspect to this. When you create fans and they start like listening and tipping artists and like adopting the platform, that's a big deal, man. When you look at it, it's early stage, but that's a big story, from Music Coin's aspect. So, but yeah, let's move on, man.
All right, so Rob, whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and go to my favorite tune of the evening. This is a guy by the name of Bennett Hughes with his song Lost and Found. Share this out, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Unknown, fly on the wall, but you first stories about this wrecking ball. I am. Yeah, you don't know me, but you're curious. Make what the kid thinking hoodie's praying for us. I am. I was lost, robbed, just talking
Indie Music Live, Bennett Hughes, Lost and Found. I'm JoeJoeKeys sitting here with Mr. David Werba and Mr. Fletch Towell from Chicago. We got some people talking to us. We got some people in the room. Drew Gogo's here. Sorry if I missed the response with the audio breakdown, but he asked, will there be some sort of music coin mentor available for those unfamiliar with cryptocurrency? And yes, there is. Dave and I are going to be doing some live streamings, like on-hands training with it and just sort of, education and stuff. And even in our shows, our upcoming shows, we're going to be diving deeper into, what it is and, maybe do a series or something, maybe we cover it.
Joe, I wanted ambassadors, man. Like we're going to be, actually that.
Fletch.
Yeah, let's just keep
you right along, and the audio production is great, and the song has good structure. The harmonies are killer. The choruses come in right. It breaks up. It comes up and down dynamically. I think it's super.
Yeah, so this is one of the few songs, Joe, that are submitted to us where I've kind of had this perception like it goes against the argument that rock is dead. Like this is kind of like it's fresh rock to me.
Yeah, new rock.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Because it's like when you start thinking of like what are 10 or 5 references you can say for this band, this song, this is like 10 years, to present in terms of references. Because most of the time when the rock songs we get submitted, we're going 20, 30 years back. It's like kind of sounds like this, but yeah, so this is fresh rock, and it seems to be so rare today with music that gets submitted to us, which is a pretty good case study on what's out there because we get so much of it. And yeah, production awesome. thing was rocking. I was feeling it, trying to find a flaw, and I couldn't find any.
I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, what is it? Oh, yeah, that's I like that. Like, yeah, this song.
Yeah, singing the hook. I mean, what else can you ask for? You know?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Rob's working hard. We're going to Enlightened Audiovisual. If anybody needs some live streaming help, go to him. He's working hard. He's sweating bullets. It's not him. It's just one of those nights, man. It happens. But we're making the best of it. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with us and with the audio and hanging out. Drew Gogo, we answered your question. We talked about for a minute. I don't know if you heard us, but we will be doing some trainings and stuff and education seminars, I guess you could call them, on cryptocurrency and blockchain, Bitcoin, why it's beneficial for musicians to use it, and really anybody in general. But why don't we wrap this show up with one more tune for the night? Whenever you're ready, Mr. Enlightened. Let's listen to John and Kelly with the song 48 Crash. Fletch has something to say about this when we come back.
Oh, yeah.
Indie Music Live. We're gonna make it. We're almost to the end of our Smash 'em Together show. We've been talking about music coin, some music news, and there's gonna be a lot of things coming. I did want to mention real quick, one of the things that we want to do and that we want people to submit for is the Indie Music Street Reporter thing that we've been doing. Loopy did the first one last week. I have a couple people that have done them. It's just a matter of fitting them into the show. We're also going to be doing, we're still going to be doing featured artists, not every week necessarily, but still on a really regular basis where we get to get deeper with Dave. Another segment. So we got a lot of cool stuff happening. The show's going to get better every week. It's not going to just be us sitting around just kind of going, oh yeah, that song was pretty good. That was pretty cool. We're going to actually do stuff. So anyway,
we're trying to tighten everything up. We kind of just blended two shows together. So this is the first time we did this, so bear with us, everybody. I mean, there were some audio issues, and we'll figure it out. But some of the audio stuff, well,
really rare.
I know, but some of the audio stuff with live streaming it's not on us. I mean, it's on Facebook, it's on Periscope. They sometimes the keys don't work. They have issues. It has nothing to do with us.
So Fletch figured out something real interesting about this song, and I didn't catch it necessarily. Fletch, explain.
Well, I gave it a couple listens, and I was trying to listen to the lyrics, and coincidentally, I looked it up, the title 48 Crash, to see if I could find more information on it, and lo and behold, found out it was a cover song from a relatively famous artist in the early 70s called Susie Quattro. But it was a cover song that, I'm old enough to have actually lived in the 70s, and I didn't recognize it. So right off the top of my head, I'm like, boy, you're putting a lot of time and effort behind doing a cover song that is not highly recognized. It had a better following, I think, in the UK and Australia at the time. So that's the first comment. If you're going to do a cover song, you might want to do one that's more popular. The second thing, and I mentioned this to David earlier, a lot of young recording artists don't make the vocals sit out in the mix enough. If you can't hear the lyrics, your mix is going to, the song is going to suffer. People are not going to listen to it if you're going to have lyrics. And this has that problem. The production quality is not that great overall either. But one thing every young artist can do is at least have the lyrics standing out in front so that they're legible and understandable. But that's
it's an interesting story, really. Like I didn't catch it, and when you first told me that, I'm like, okay, so at first I heard the raw sound, Ramones, Stooges, just like raw kind of punk rockish type of feel to it. And then this is one of those moments where, man, like I wish they were in the chat right now, because I just want to ask them, like, what the choice of a cover. So this is actually cover. It's like, why this song? When
there's probably there's probably some history behind it. Maybe there was a
I know, but it's probably like an inside story, and I want to hear the inside story. Like, what is it? Because that's part of this, I think, because we're just looking at the song, in and of itself, and I think the story behind it is at least half of what's going on here, and we don't know that.
Maybe they'll post it online later.
Yeah, they'll probably.
Yeah, we do get a lot of like responses on our social, feeds and stuff the day after a show. We're like, boy, you guys are assholes. You have no idea what you're talking about. Or
I will say here anecdotally, Susie Quattro was cutting edge for her time. She was the first female bass player.
Oh, now we lost Fletch. Oh, this is classic. All right, well, I think that's our cue there. Why don't we go ahead and wrap the show up tonight? Thank you, everybody, for watching. We're going to get out while the going's still good and while we're still alive. It's nothing to do with anything except for just technical bullshit tonight.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah.
What?
There was a lot. At least Fletch left us with a great expression of.
Well, he's back now, but I think we're just going to cut our losses tonight. So thank you, everybody, so much for hanging out with us. We're going to be back next week. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up. Next week, we're premiering another Chicagolander song by her name's K-Soul. She has a new song coming out next week. We're going to actually play it the week before it comes out, so that's pretty exciting. So we're going to be doing cool stuff like that. Hit us up on social media, indiemusicplus.com, if you want to submit your music. Fletch, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Sorry we lost you right at the end there.
Oh, thanks, boys. My pleasure. Had a good time.
Cool. Yeah, it was a blast. Rob, thank you as always for making us look good. I'm actually kind of an ugly girl, but look at how nice I look right now.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous, Joe.
All thanks to Rob. So I put the sign up for Music Coin link in the pinned comment for the show. So go ahead and check it out. Go to musiccoin.org. It's musiccoin.org and sign up today. Start making that money. Dave, any final words?
No, I mean, if you don't catch the link for some reason, it's in the banner at our website in the sidebar. Just click the banner, join. And honestly, I mean, we understand there's some education in this process. It clicks at different times for everybody. Some like people that have tech industry knowledge, like crypto knowledge, prior crypto knowledge, and they've used Bitcoin in the past. Those are the people that they get it right away. They're like, holy shit, like this is going to be a big part of the future. And some people that yeah, and Rob just said heroin dealers are a big part of the community.
Well, that's a whole other side of the story. Have you ever heard of Silk Road? That's a whole different kind of crypto.
Oh yeah,
it actually gives it a bad name, but still, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's like, buy all that anyway. I'm not going to get into it. So anyway, sorry to cut you off, Dave. Anything else?
No, that's pretty. No, we'll be talking soon. We're going to start doing some live streams, set up some group. I mean, anyone listening to the show, hit us up on DM on Facebook, Twitter. And we'll talk about it, man. Like we'll educate you, because this is, I mean, we've merged our brands, and this is the future of the industry. It's the future of our business, Joe. So we're excited about it. So
Yep, I'm real excited. So cool. We'll see you next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time for Indie Music Live, episode 72.